Hey, what's up guys? How you guys doing? Today we're going to be reviewing Spelunky. I don't know if you guys have heard of this game before. It's a indie game that released in 2013. It's in the roguelike genre. So, for example, you're playing like Mario Brothers, and then all of a sudden you're like, alright, well every time I die, I want to go back to the very beginning of the game. That's pretty sadistic already, but then you're also like, okay, well, every time I die, I also want everything to be randomly generated too. And then boom, there you go, you got Spelunky. But, you know, it's a little different, so let's get into that. Alright, so in Spelunky, you play as this guy. He's just dollar store Indiana Jones, that's all you need to know. And he walks into a cave. You see this guy named Yang. He gives you a tutorial, and then you're off on your own. That's it. That's all you need to know. And from here on out, you just try to go deeper and deeper into the caves, see how far you can get, and, well, just try and master the game, because playing this game it's going to become like a science. You can't remember level layouts anymore, so now you gotta rely on, well, what do these enemies do? You know, you'll find all sorts of different traps and shit throughout your adventure, and you just gotta try and figure out every different scenario you could possibly get into and how to handle it. That's the key to success. There's a lot of trial and error in this game. The game will start you out with a couple of different things. You get a whip, which has to be one of the worst weapons in history, just ever. I know I talked about the board in Splatterhouse and it being the best weapon in fiction. Well, this might be the worst thing in just history, not even just a weapon. My man could have packed any other weapon and it would have been better than this piece of shit. I mean, just look at the range. You know, you play Castlevania and you're like, you're spoiled, you know? You gotta get back into that Spelunky shit where you get like NES Classic controller length. You know, my man's at the store, he's like, alright, I want to pick up a whip. Let me get some NES Classic controllers instead of, I don't know, that chain whip sitting over there. Looks pretty cool. I hear the Belmonts wield that. Anyway, let me get the NES Classic controller, so now you have a 1-foot whip. Even more of a slap in your face is you get ropes. Same material, same shit as the whip, except this thing's like so fucking long. I know out of context this sounds bad, but this rope, super long, super meaty. I'm not talking about dick sizes, don't take this out of context. I'm talking about the rope size in Spelunky. Anyway, you just use the ropes to climb up, which was a big waste. You know, you should have used that as a weapon, but whatever. And finally, the game will start you off with some bombs. These are the best resource in the entire game. You need bombs. Absolutely need bombs. You see, this game is kind of linear, but like non-linear at the same time. To get off the regular path, you're gonna need a way to break the tiles. And how do you do that? Well, you got a few options, but the most common and efficient way is just by dropping a bomb. You'll use it to get crates, you know, you'll find these damsels in distress, which will give you 1 life point, and, you know, to get to them, like I said, you need a bomb. In fact, I'd say your ideal arsenal in Spelunky would be packing more explosive power than, like, fucking Gender Reveal Party or, like, the Boston Marathon Bomber. You want as much explosive firepower as possible. You're gonna need as many bombs to create shortcuts and get access to some good loot. Anyway, Spelunky contains a lot of different enemies and scenarios and levels. Too many to get into in this review, but it's all to mix up its gameplay so that each time you spawn into a new set of levels, you know, it keeps it fresh. And throughout your adventure, you can find a different assortment of weapons and items, just shit to improve yourself from the basic, you know, crappy whip and some ropes. You can find capes, you can find climbing gloves, freeze ray, web gun. I mean, you have a literal weapon that shoots cum. That's pretty damn cool. You can find all sorts of cool stuff, go on and on. There are a couple ways to find weapons and items in this game. You can sacrifice people, just drop them on the altar, they turn into a pile of blood, and in their wake, their sacrifice to the greater good, you can get some cool glasses. But most of the time, these items will be for sale in a shop. You got this 70-year-old man here, you figure, alright, well that bomb box is looking pretty expensive. So what's he really gonna do if I just walk out with it? And to a new player, you're gonna walk out and proceed to get absolutely destroyed. This 70-year-old man will turn you into some fucking tomato soup, so you gotta watch out. But to do really good in this game, the thing is, you kinda have to, kill them. You gotta deal with his friends, they come out every level at the exit, but eventually you'll start to get good at it. You'll be able to master his AI. It's worth the effort, because in the end you'll find some of the best items in the game, such as the holy combo of shotgun and jetpack. You're basically guaranteed to do well with this setup. Talking about Spelunky is really difficult because there are so many things to see in this game, and I don't want to talk about all the secrets, but I'm so giddy up in here just to tell you how good this game is. So many sights to see, so many different level types, and different variations like dark levels and spooky level in the jungle, and there's a tombstone that has ash and you can get an actual shotgun. That Evil Dead reference is fucking amazing. I love that. And by the end, it's just such a rewarding experience. You've really mastered the game at this point. You've seen everything, and then you made it to hell, and you see your bro Yang, the one who helped you out in the beginning, and you go fuck off, and you're rich as hell now. And at that point, you can start attempting different challenges. You can try and get a high score. There's even an achievement if you're playing on PlayStation 4 to beat the game in under 5 minutes. A challenge for only real men. Only real men can do that. I'm not a real man. That's why I don't have this achievement. But you can get into some really hardcore shit and basically play this game to death until there's nothing left to do. Anyway, if I had some complaints with Spelunky, I'd say there are a few. Like I said, you can run into some bullshit. Here's one example where I just made it over to the temple. I enter the level, then boom, Crocodile Man teleports into my body and turns me into some soup. That kind of shit. That's annoying. Well, except for that one time. That was just kind of funny, but you get the idea. Another complaint I have is the boss fights are just so lame in this game. Just awful. I've played roguelikes with some really good bosses that do a great job. Spelunky, it's just kind of pathetic. I mean, just horrible boss fights. If I had another minor complaint with this game, it would be I really kind of get sick of that shopkeeper music after a while. I mean, my dude's showing up in every level, and you're just trying to enjoy the music. On a side note, the music in this game is absolutely fantastic. There's a whole variety of different amazing tracks that use FM sound, kind of like the Genesis. you know, you'll find it gets interrupted by the shopkeeper theme, and it just never stops. But other than that, I don't have any other issues with this game. I really wanted to go in depth for this review. In fact, this is like my 10th attempt recording this review, and I just realized, you know, I gotta hold myself back. You know, like, I feel like you guys should be playing this game for yourself and experiencing what it has to offer, you know, and just using this review to, well, pique your interest. This is an absolutely fantastic game. It's brutal, it's gonna kick your ass, but you're gonna want more. You're a sucker for the pain. By the end, you know, you're gonna be like, man, I've been playing so much Spelunky, you know, I'm at the point where I'm crying. Might need to call a fucking suicide hotline at this point. It's unsafe levels of self-harm with how hard it is at some points, but, it's still, it's still a very fun game. You know, just don't indulge in excess Spelunky. Could drive you insane. There's a lot of replay value, some of the highest replay value of like any game I've ever covered on this channel. I love it to death. It's one of my favorite indie games. You know, if I didn't run into some bullshit occasionally, and I really think the bosses could have used some improvement, but other than that, it's like almost perfect. So with that said, I'm going to give it an absolutely glowing review. Absolutely incredible score of 9.4. I think Spelunky is up there with some of the greatest platformers of all time. Going back to it, it was an absolute joy, you know, playing it on stream, like getting $1 million, just huge moments like that. And I've just had so many memorable moments with this game. I think you should go out right now and play it. It's just worth your time. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.